In a stunning twist that has sent ripples through the NFL world, the Tennessee Titans have officially released three-time Pro Bowl safety Quandre Diggs, a move that comes as both surprising and intriguing given his reputation, experience, and impact on any secondary he's been a part of. What makes this story even juicier is the timing. The release arrives just as the Dallas Cowboys, one of the league's most polarizing and high-profile franchises, are desperately searching for stability and leadership in their struggling defensive backfield. This situation feels like a cosmic alignment of need and opportunity, where a proven veteran becomes available at precisely the moment a contending team's weaknesses are being exposed. For Dallas, a team whose defensive lapses have cost them momentum this season, Quandre Diggs might just be the missing piece that transforms their defensive identity. Now, let's unpack what's really happening here, how we got to this point, and why this storyline could reshape the NFC playoff race if the Cowboys act quickly and decisively. Quandre Diggs is no ordinary free agent. Over the past decade, he's carved out a name for himself as one of the most reliable and instinctive safeties in football. Drafted by the Detroit Lions in the 6th round back in 2015, Diggs wasn't supposed to be a superstar, at least not on paper. He was seen as undersized, at just under 5'10", not possessing elite speed, or the measurables that make scouts drool. But what he lacked in physicality, he made up for in football, IQ, toughness, and leadership. From the moment he stepped on an NFL field, Diggs was all grit, a defensive back who played far above his size, always around the ball, and never afraid to lay a hit on bigger receivers or running backs. His career took off when the Lions traded him to the Seattle Seahawks in 2019, a move that initially shocked fans in Detroit but turned into a blessing for Diggs. In Seattle, under defensive-minded coach Pete Carroll, Diggs blossomed. He quickly became the heartbeat of the Seahawks secondary, filling the void left by legends like Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor. Over several seasons, Diggs racked up Pro Bowl appearances, key interceptions, and developed a reputation as a true ball hawk, the kind of player quarterbacks always have to account for when scanning the middle of the field. He wasn't just a safety. He was an enforcer and field general, constantly reading plays before they happened and saving his team with smart angles and perfectly timed tackles. Fast forward to 2024, when Diggs signed a one-year deal with the Tennessee Titans after his time with Seattle came to an end. The Titans, under coach Brian Callahan, wanted to infuse veteran presence and leadership into their defense, and Diggs was expected to provide exactly that. However, things didn't quite go as planned. While Diggs remained productive and respected in the locker room, the Titans were in a transition phase, moving toward a younger roster, trying to rebuild with fresh legs, and managing their cap space carefully. As the 2025 season unfolded, Diggs found his playing time slightly reduced, and by midseason, it became clear the Titans were pivoting toward youth. Still, few expected them to outright release a player of his caliber, especially given his resume and leadership. But that's the brutal business side of the NFL. Sometimes talent alone isn't enough if the team is heading in another direction. The Titans made it official, announcing his release in early November, and within minutes, the football world began buzzing, particularly in Dallas, where fans and analysts immediately connected the dots. The Dallas Cowboys have long been known for their offense, big plays, star receivers, and flashy moments, but this year, the story has been very different. Their defense, once considered a top unit in the league, has been struggling mightily. Opposing quarterbacks have shredded their secondary, running backs have broken through missed tackles, and the once feared Dallas defense has looked disorganized and inconsistent. Injuries have also played a part, as several starters have missed time, forcing younger players into roles they may not yet be ready for. For a team with championship aspirations, that's a dangerous situation. When you look at the Cowboys' defensive stats, they tell a worrying story, ranking near the bottom of the league in yards allowed, giving up big plays downfield, and showing a lack of communication on the back end. These are all areas where a veteran like Quandre Diggs could make an instant impact. Diggs is more than just a physical defender. He's a communicator, the type of safety who can quarterback the defense from the back end. That's exactly what Dallas has been missing. With players like Trayvon Diggs, no relation, already in place as a shutdown corner, pairing him with Quandre would not only add talent, but also chemistry and leadership. Imagine the Cowboys' defense with Micah Parsons pressuring the quarterback up front, Trayvon Diggs locking down one side of the field, and Quandre Diggs patrolling the deep zones, reading plays, and punishing mistakes. That's a vision that could take Dallas from being a playoff hopeful to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The timing also couldn't be better. Dallas has been searching for a spark, something to galvanize the locker room and re-energize their defensive mindset. The addition of a respected veteran like Diggs could do exactly that. He's known around the league for his leadership, work ethic, and intelligence, qualities that often rub off on younger teammates. For players like Darren Bland and Malik Hooker, having a mentor like Quandre could accelerate their growth and bring much-needed accountability to a defense that's been up and down all season. There's also the emotional element that makes this potential move even more compelling. Quandre Diggs played college football at the University of Texas, which means signing with the Cowboys would be a homecoming of sorts. It's not just another stop for him, it would be a chance to play in his home state, in front of the fans who watched him rise through the Texas Longhorns program. There's something powerful about that kind of storyline. A Texas native, battle-tested and still hungry, returning to help America's team at a crucial juncture. It's a perfect narrative fit, and in the world of sports, sometimes storylines like that turn into reality because they just make too much sense. From a strategic standpoint, Dallas has nothing to lose and everything to gain. Signing Diggs wouldn't break the bank. At this point in the season, he'd likely command a short-term, incentive-heavy deal. That's the definition of a low-risk, high-reward signing. Even if Diggs isn't at his Pro Bowl peak, his experience alone could stabilize a chaotic defense. He could play rotationally in specific packages, or even as a starter if he proves his conditioning is strong. Given that Dallas has struggled with coverage breakdowns and missed assignments, bringing in a player known for his discipline and film study would instantly raise the floor for this defense. He could also help in the film room, teaching younger players how to recognize offensive tendencies and anticipate plays, something Dallas desperately needs as they face high-powered offenses down the stretch. Ultimately, this is one of those rare stories in sports where the timing, the need, and the narrative all align perfectly. Quandre Diggs being released by the Titans might have been a simple roster move on paper, but in context, it's an opportunity waiting to be seized. For Dallas, it's a test of awareness and decisiveness. Do they see the window and jump through it? Or do they hesitate and watch someone else reap the rewards? Given how this season has unfolded, the Cowboys can't afford to hesitate. Their defense needs leadership, stability, and toughness, everything Quandre Diggs embodies. The football gods may have just handed them a lifeline, and now it's up to Jerry Jones and company to grab it before it's too late. If they do, we could be talking about this signing months from now as one of the most pivotal mid-season moves of the year. Because sometimes it only takes one player, one veteran voice in the locker room, one clutch interception in a big game to change the entire trajectory of a team's season. And right now, all signs point to